This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 15 through 16. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. And peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren, preaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And shalom to the hopeful elect out there. It's the brother Dama Gabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and give you warning from Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right, and I started this lesson with Ephesians, the 5th chapter, because we're living in the times to where we are in very, very evil times. And as these devils bring in this new world order, it's going to get evil, even more and more evil. With all of these, migrants coming into this country, a lot of these Islamic terrorists, sleeper cells inside this country. And, they're about to be activated pretty soon. And you're about to see a lot of crazy shit happening here in this society, man. All right. You're about to see a lot of FFs. You're about to see a lot of terroristic stuff. You're going to see more mass shootings. And you're going to see more and more chaos, more and more people separated and division and arguments, uprising of the people, and crazier times as we entering into the end of this society and these devils bringing in this new world order. All right. Because Esau is running out of time. His time is short. The people have woken up into the BS, and now he's going to have to bring this order out of chaos and this great fear to bring you people, to bring you to your knees and to have you eventually begging, this government to take away more of your rights so that you can feel safe and secure. And I was reading some articles and I came across this one from Zero Hedge. It says the toxic brew that is going to create endless chaos in the streets of America, you see? And we know that part of these devils' plans is to bring the order out of the chaos. So they're about to let complete and utter chaos be unleashed here in this, here in America. So like I said, you're going to see a lot more FS, false, flags. You're going to see a lot more mass shooters. You're going to see a lot more uprising, people doing just all type of crazy shit because they want to create this theater of fear so that they could bring in more and more order out of the chaos, man. It says really bad policies lead to really bad consequences, and our leaders have been making absolutely disastrous decisions for decades. It says, as a result, the streets of America are now teeming with thieves, drug addicts, prostitutes, violent criminals, and sexual predators, you see? And you have this running rampant all across America, man. You got a lot of these people got a lot of different spirits on them. A lot of these people are addicted to opioids and drugs. A lot of these people are losing their jobs. A lot of these people have mental health issues. A lot of people are just mentally ill here in this society, and they're all going to be out here running amok. And especially when all hell breaks loose, when they collapse this economy, when the ATMs stop working, when the dollar isn't worth anything, when the 911 is not instituted, and they're bringing the lockdowns, they're going to release these sleeper cells, these terrorist groups, these mass shootings, people going absolutely apeshit. You're going to have a lot of these, it's going to be like Mad Max out here, completely unstable, completely a society off the hinge and a purge-like situation. And you see, in these elites, they're going to let this shit go on for a good while, until you people are going to be begging for, the government to come in and to do whatever they got to do in order for you to feel safe and secure. And then they're going to come with that C Ragma, you're going to have, that's why you see all this talk of World War III. It's about to be complete and utter chaos out here all around the world, man. And especially here in America. And a lot of these people with these spirits, like I said, thieves, drug addicts, prostitutes, violent criminals, and you got these millions and millions of migrants crossing into this border, being dropped off in different parts of the country, which a lot of them are violent sexual predators, drug addicts, violent criminals, murderers, Hamas, Hezbollah, terrorist organization. You got all type of shit about to be unleashed here in this society while all hell is breaking loose, man. All right. It's going to be crazy and terrible times. You see, and that's why I started with that Ephesians. Make sure that we're walking circumspectly and redeeming the times, because these days are very evil, man. It says, we have raised an entire generation of young Americans that has no moral foundation whatsoever, and every day we are adding even more immigrants from third world countries to the mix. Many of those immigrants have no intention of following our laws, and they are fueling the explosive growth of criminal gangs all over the nation. Remember, when all hell breaks loose, these migrants, they're going to be ganging up and linking up. And they're going to be doing whatever the hell they want to do and whatever the hell they got to do. It's literally going to be like a Mad Max scenario out here. People are not going to have to worry about the 911 being called. They're not going to have to worry about following the laws, abiding by, having fear of the cops or the military. They're going to be free to do whatever the hell they want to do. And that's why, the elders through the Spirit made those videos yesterday dealing with how a lot of you women are going to suffer the most when this society collapses. All right. And the Lord is, and this is all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see? It says, on top of everything else, the war in the Middle East threatens to spark an unprecedented wave of domestic terror attacks here in the United States. So it's going to be just one thing after the other, after the other, after the other. And you might even have a cyber attack to boot, to where they're going to hit, these different, sections of society, whether it's the power grid, whether that's going to shut out, banking, there's not going to be no electricity, no power, Once it's going to be like once the sun goes down, man, it's going to be a whole nother a world out here. And if you don't have the protection and the security and the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai with you in those days, man, hey, it's going to be complete and utter chaos and gnashing of teeth out here. It says millions of radical Muslims now live in this country, and when the time comes, many of them will not hesitate to commit acts of violence. And you just had I forget, one of these senators or mayors came out and saying we got to be prepared for a lot of a terrorist attack, because, the Biden administration have allowed a lot of these terrorists to come into this country, man. And a lot of them are just waiting on the call. They're waiting on that text message to start doing particular things. Right. Then on top of that, you got a lot of these Americans out here who are armed to the teeth. You got a lot of these wild 2/3 niggas out here. It's going to be beyond the wild west out here. It's going to be complete and utter chaos, a time as we have never seen, which the Lord refers to as the time of Jacob's trouble. Let me get that real quick, man. And this is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. It says, the time of the end. And at that time shall Michael stand up, that great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. At that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. You see? And that's only dealing with the elect. The elect of the nation of Israel are going to be the only ones that's going to be delivered and saved out of this coming danger and this craziness which we're about to see happen in Babylon the Great. All right. And this is Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 4. It says, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof, which is the elect, the prophets, the men of the Lord. We're the only ones that's standing up for the truth and righteousness of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We're out there prophesying on the highways and the byways, telling you these things are going to happen before they happen, telling our people to repent and return to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai before the evil days come. And where we changed our lives, our diets, our thinking patterns, and how we live on this earth towards righteousness to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, with all the hope of being, part of that hopeful elect that's going to be delivered from all of this hell and all of this chaos, and ultimately the judgment, the fiery judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai via nuclear missiles being dropped on America. You see, but 2/3 of our people, this is what you have in store. And to the others, he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. You see, and this is what the hopeful elect, this is where our hope and faith is that we have that mark of exemption, that the wa, and that when, all this judgment comes, because the Lord is, he's going to allow a lot of this chaos to happen to bring in the time of Jacob's trouble. The Lord is bringing a lot of these migrants and all of these different people from all around the world here into America for one or two things, either to be judged or to be delivered as part of the elect. He got a lot of these guys to come here to be serial rapists and murderers and cannibals and, to be used by the death angels to, to slay a lot of old, young maids and little children and wicked 2/3 of our people. You see, but we're hoping that we're part of the elect who will be delivered, who will receive spiritual power, who will be, delivered from all of this wickedness that is coming upon this earth. It says, I have been writing about the social decay in our major cities for many years, but in all that time, I have never came across a story quite like this one. We all know that San Francisco has a terrible, awful, horrible homeless problem with homeless people sleeping everywhere. One homeless man set up camp across a Catholic grade school. It would have been curiosity except for the signs he hung outside his tent. Free fentanyl for new users and meth for stolen items. Joseph Adam Moore served 6 years for unlawful sex with a 12-year-old girl and was accused of having sex with a 15-year-old girl just a month after getting out of prison. But his probation did not include staying away from schools, so he camped directly across the Stella Maris Academy and began to host parties of stoners, much to the neighborhood's dismay. You see, and here he is. So can you imagine the boldness these creeps and these weirdos and these violent sex offenders are going to have when all hell breaks loose, when they know there's no police patrolling, when they know that you can get away with doing whatever the hell you want to do, and then the Lord's going to turn up that rapist, that murderous, thievery, conniving, bloodthirsty, whatever type of demons these people are going to have with them. When the Lord amplify it, when all hell is breaking loose, what they're going to be out here doing. They're going to be out here just going completely ape shit, man. And the Lord's going to have a lot of their targets, pointed at 2/3 of a lot of our people. The Lord willing, we're part of that number. Hey, the elect, they're going to see you, and the Lord's going to make the spirit to where they're just going to pass right by the elect. They're not going to come near the chosen. They're not going to come near the elect of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Let me get this real quick. You see, this is it says let me read a little bit up. This is 2 Ezra 16:67. Behold, God himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall God lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. You see? And what the ultimate trouble? Jacob's trouble. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols, which is going to be a lot of these military troops, a lot of these FEMA camps, because they're going to have these FEMA camps and these particular soldiers coming out here doing particular things. But you're also going to have, like I said, these migrants running wild, 2/3 wild niggas, these heathens out here, people just out here running amok, that are out, that these elites are going to allow to terrorize and to tear up this city, to burn up buildings, to commit crimes, to do violent acts. But you're also going to have the military, rounding up particular individuals. You're going to have these concentration camps. You're going to have these, particular zones, parts of the city cordoned off that the military is running, to put people in FEMA camps. But then outside of those zones, you're going to have just the average everyday bug out 2/3 weirdo, these demons, these migrants, these, terrorist organizations. So it's going to be complete and utter chaos out here, man. But I truly believe in my heart of hearts that the Lord is going to have his elect shielded from all of this. Yeah, we're going to be out in the midst of it. We're going to see particular things, but the Lord is just going to have the spirit on his elect to be delivered and to be protected, to be passed over in a lot of particular situations, man. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Right, the military is going to be doing a lot of that, and But at the same time, you're going to have these crazies running around out here doing all type of shit. It says, what? Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire, ultimately with that MOTB. With the mark of the beast, which is going to be offered to these people in the midst of all of this chaos, But the elect are going to make it through. They're going to be delivered. They're not going to bow the knee or be overcame. And here's the point. It says, hear, O ye my beloved, saith Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. You see? It says, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. So like I said, the Lord's going to be guiding his elect when all hell breaks loose, when all chaos is going on. But 2/3 of our people, hey, the Lord's going to lead you down the path of straight destruction and trouble. He's going to lead you a lot, especially like we did videos yesterday. A lot of you women are going to be given over to these rapists and these murderers, these thieves, these robbers, these cannibals, all type of shit's going to be going out here. And 2/3 of our people, a lot of you are going to be given over to these particular death demons, man, death angels, The Lord's going to put the spirit on these people to do all type of shit, man. It's going to be ill out here. It says, Hear, O my beloved, saith Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord God. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift themselves up. But woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, which is the 2/3. It says, woe. Woe means destruction, judgment. It says, in the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. It is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. You see, so the elect, man, hey, they're going to be guided. They're going to be delivered. They're going to be protected. They're not going to be given over to these, particular demons out here running amok, doing all type of shit, man. It says that unfortunately, our entire society is now descending into an abyss of sexual degradation. Thanks to a new law that was recently signed by California Governor Gavin Newsom, the city of Los Angeles has essentially been transformed into a giant brothel at this point. Emboldened by new California laws that make it nearly impossible for cops to bust prostitutes, sex workers in Los Angeles red light districts stalk for businesses wearing no more than thongs, G-strings, and high heels in broad daylight. And what do you think that's setting the stage for? It's setting the stage for these rapists with those insatiable appetites. Hey, when all hell breaks loose, them women gonna be snatched up. They're gonna be taken, man. All right. They're going to be snatched up and put in the basement from somewhere, and they're going to be used as bartering chips, man. If you want to go and get you some, a little bit of booty, if you got something, you can go down there and barter. And they're going to have that woman in there chained to the bed with her ass tooted in the air, man. All these OF workers, all you bitches with them, fat injected asses. Hey, a lot of you are going to be bartering tools. A lot of you just going to be booty. A lot of you just going to get your head bust. You're just going to be taken right there wherever they find you at, and they're going to bust your head and leave you right there for the birds, man. You see, and this is all part of Jacob's trouble, and the stage is being set, man. You see? It says a 40-block area of Figueroa Boulevard in South LA sees hundreds of prostitutes, some barely out of their teens, plying their trade since Governor Newsom passed the controversial Safer Streets for All Act, which decriminalized loitering with the intent to work as a prostitute in January. You see, so they're just setting the stage for the total chaos to come into the society. It says, needless to say, the enormous tsunami of migration that we've been experienced during the Biden administration has recently contributed to our social problem. Let me see something. It says, according to brand new numbers that have just been released, the number of migrants that our Border Patrol officers encountered during the month of September set a brand new all-time high. The United States Customs and Border Protection reported the final month of Southwest border encounters, blah, blah, blah. Official numbers total 269,735 encounters for September, a new monthly record, which set fiscal year 2023 at a record of 2 million. So you got 2 million. Imagine how many of those are military-age men. Rapists, violent criminals, murderers, thieves, sex trafficker, mafia members, Hamas, terrorists from, Chinese militants, people from Africa, Jamaica, Haiti, all over the earth, man, who have serious fucking problems and serious demons on them are being released right here into this country. And like I said, the Lord is going to allow a lot of these guys to have those death demons on them, man. And they're coming into this country totally unchecked, totally unmonitored, man. You see? What else it says? Read a little bit. Oh, yeah, it says, protecting our border is one of the very few things that the federal government is actually required to do. It says, and now we're being warned that the members of Hamas and Hezbollah may try to come over our southern border. And they ain't trying, they are. They have been, I'm sure. It says San Diego Field Office Intelligence Division of Customs and Border Protection has warned in a memo that members of terrorist groups, namely Hamas, Hezbollah, and Palestine Islamic Jihad, could be encountered at the porous southern border. The warning comes weeks after the Palestinian terrorist groups Hamas attacked Israel, murdering 1,400, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of these dudes coming over here, they can't stand you Americans. They hated you Americans ever since they were young children. And now they're getting a free pass to come into this country. And you better believe a lot of them are going to be taking orders from, their leaders from over in the Middle East at a certain point to do particular things, to pull out certain crimes, to strap a goddamn bomb to themselves and run into a elementary school or something. But to do particular acts here in this country, man. It says, I have a message for whoever wrote that memo. Hezbollah is already here. In fact, Hezbollah has been very active in North America for a long time. Of course, those that have ties to Hezbollah are just a small subset of the rapidly growing population of radical Muslims in this country. And now that war has erupted in the Middle East, many of those radical Muslims are protesting in the streets, you see. But this is all being set up by these elites at the end of the day. And we know that, hey, the Lord is going to, use a lot of these individuals to fulfill prophecy. Like I said, he's going to turn the spirit on a lot of these migrants and a lot of these weirdos and even these people here in America who are bugged out of their minds. Because you got a lot of crazy niggas and niggettes here in Babylon the Great. You got a lot of the tribes that are out of their fucking mind. And when all hell breaks loose and people really know they have nothing to lose and, this society falls. They can't spend the money. They can't put gas in their cars, and the shelves are empty. Hey, people are gonna go completely and utterly crazy out here, man. And it's all written within scriptures. It tells you that friends will fight one another. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me get that in the pocket. Invading one. There we go. Second Ezra 15 and 16. For there it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. And what are those swords? Those guns, man. For there shall be sedition among men. Right, they're going to be uprising against the government. Especially when all hell breaks loose and this financial system collapses and people can't, use food stamps. People can't use money. People, dollars become useless. There's no more gas at the gas stations and no more food being brought into the store. People are going to take it to the government, take it to the mayors, take it to the streets. Then eventually they're going to turn on one another, man. It's going to be complete and utter chaos. It says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their king nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Yeah, that great perplexity, that great unknown, that all this chaos and shit that's coming to society. People are going to be fearful. People are going to be nervous. People are going to be desperate. And people are going to be very, very dangerous and have very short fuses, man. It says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation, you see. And this is the stage that these elites are trying to, are going to set with all this chaos that they're trying to bring this new world order in. It says, on Sunday, a pro-Hamas mob took over an entire section of the city of Minneapolis. A pro-Palestine mob on Sunday took over a street in Minneapolis, swarmed an elderly driver, chased after him, and harassed him. And if you don't believe this is true, this shit happens over there in London and in France all the time. They let so many of those migrants and those Middle East people who got nothing better to do. They're just sitting out there on the streets all day, just running amok, just doing all type of crazy shit. And you recently had that incident where I guess one of those police officers in London killed one of those South African migrants. And they burnt that whole goddamn city down. They was still in the buses, rolling the shit through the town. They let the animals out of the zoo. They was going completely ape shit. And you have that being prepared to happen here in Babylon the Great pretty soon. Let's look at this. It says the pro-Palestinian mobs take over the streets and swarms and supposedly there was chasing down Edomites, white people. Look at this. It's 2 minutes long. I ain't gonna play all of it, but yeah. And look, and you got Biden administration allowing hundreds of thousands, millions of these motherfuckers coming into this country. So what do you think is gonna happen when all hell breaks loose even more? All right. It says, what does it say? It says, eventually the radical Muslims may completely take over Minneapolis just like they have done in Dearborn, Michigan. For a long time, I have been warning my reader that our immigration policies will lead to complete and utter madness in the streets of America. Remember, this is all part of the plans of these elites. This is what they want to happen. This is why they're telling Joe Biden to leave the border wide open. And we really don't know how many of these motherfuckers that came into this country, but we know it's to serve a purpose. It says, once the war in the Middle East really gets going, we are going to see things happen in this nation that many people thought that they would never see in their entire lifetimes. But things don't have to turn out this way, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it does, because it's all part of prophecy. And this is part of how we believe that the time of Jacob's trouble is going to happen here in the society. It's going to bring in order out of it. It's going to bring in martial law and curfews, martial law, having to bring in the military. Shit is going to get ill out here and crazy. But those of us who are of the household of the elect, man, hey, provision is going to be made. Protection is going to be provided. But for 2/3 of our people, man, hey, this is going to be, the part of the time of Jacob's trouble to where, you're going to wish you had repented and returned to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, while the doors of mercies was open. All right. Matter of fact, let me get that and I'll close with that. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And like we've been saying for the last couple of days, all of you women who are living in pleasure, who've been, proud and wanton, and you don't need a man, and you think this system is going to go on forever, and you in that queen of heaven spirit, and you want men to worship you and bow down unto you, and the Cheesecake Factory ain't good enough, and you don't need a man. Hey, those of you that are living in pleasure, you're going to be dead while you live it, because, hey, when this shit hits and this place collapses, you're going to be the first one who's going to be on your knees begging and praying and wishing that you had listened to the men of the Lord and you had not walked so proudly and so unruly in these times that are coming. And a lot of you men, too. So with that, I'm going to close it there. Lord willing, you were edified. But, hey, like I said, that toxic brood that is going to create an endless chaos in the streets of America is right around the corner. It's vastly approaching. And we warned you time and time again. So you Jake out there, hey, you better repent and get right with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai before these evil days come, because they are drawing nigh. So with that, Lord willing, you were edified. Until the next one, shalom.